Good morning, O'Neill. I hope you're having a good day. It is a very strange day here at O'Neill. I do miss all of you, but we are taking all of our precautions and to make sure that you're all safe. I want to let you know that I love you and I hope that you're having fun with your families, but also taking time to get outside, get some fresh air, read a book, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to read A House is a House for Me, since we're all stuck in our house for a while. And then every day I'll read you a book, and I have a few that I want you to vote on. So we're going to read this book today, and then I'm going to give you some options to vote on, and I'll read that tomorrow. So let's get started. A hill is a house for an ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a mole or a mouse. And a house is a house for me. A web is a house for a spider. A bird builds its nest in a tree. There is nothing so snug as a bug in a rug, and a house is a house for me. A coop is a house for a chicken. A sty, that's a house for a sow. A fold, that's where sheep all gather to sleep. A barn, that's a house for a cow. And it's also, of course, a house for a horse. A kennel's a house for a dog, a dog. A dog is a house for a flea. But when a dog strays, a flea sometimes stays, and then it may move on to me. Houses for rabbits are hutches. A house for a mule is a shed. A castle's a house for a duchess. A bedbug's bed down in a bed. Mosquitoes like mud holes or puddles. Whales need an ocean or sea. A fish or a snake may make do with a lake, but a house is a house for me. A shell is a dwelling for a shellfish, for oysters and lobsters and clams. Each snail has a shell, and each turtle as well, but not any lions or lambs. Lions live out in the open, monkeys live up in a tree, hippos live down in a river. Now what do you know about me? An igloo's a house for an Eskimo, a teepee's a house for a Cree, a pueblo's a house for a Hopi, and a wigwam may hold a Mohi. A garage is a house for a car or truck. A hangar's a house for a plane. A dock or a slip is a house for a ship. And terminal's house for a train. A husk is a house for a corn ear. A pod is a place for a pea. A nutshell's a hut for a hickory nut. But what is a shelter for me? A glove is a house for a hand, a hand. A stocking is a house for a knee. A shoe or a boot is house for a foot. And a house is a house for me. A box is a house for a tea bag. A teapot's a house for some tea. If you pour me a cup and I drink it all up, then a tea house will turn into mead. Cartons are houses for crackers. Castles are houses for kings. The more that I think about houses, the more things are houses for things. And if you get started in thinking, I think you'll find it is true that the more you think about houses for things, the more things are houses to you. like the kangaroo. Barrels are houses for pickles, and bottles are houses for jam. A pot is a spot for potatoes. A sandwich is home for some ham. The cookie jar's home to the cookies. The bread box is home to the bread. My coat is a house for my body, and my hat is a house for my head. Perhaps I have started far-fetching, perhaps I am stretching things some. A mirror is a house for reflections, a throat is a house for a hum. But once you get started in thinking, you think and you think and you think. How pockets are houses for pennies, and pens can be houses for ink. How peaches are houses for peach pits, and sometimes are houses for worms. How trash cans are houses for garbage, and garbage make houses for germs. You don't want any of those. And envelopes, earmuffs, and eggshells, and bathrobes, and baskets, and bins, and rag bags, and rubbers, and roasters, and tablecloths, toasters, and tins. And once you get started in thinking this way, it seems that whatever you see is either a house or it lives in a house, and a house is a house for me. A book is a house for a story. A rose is a house for a smell. My head is a house for secrets. A secret I will never tell. I don't have any secrets. A flower's a home in a garden. A donkey's at home in a stall. Each creature that's known has a house of its own. And the earth is house for us all. All right. That's an oldie but goodie. And maybe today you can go around your house and try to figure out, make a list of everything that goes inside of something else. Like a shoebox is a house for a shoe, or my coffee pot is a house for my coffee. All those kind of things. Try that today and write it down. Keep a journal all this time. So we have a couple other books that I'd like for you to vote on. So which one you would like me to read tomorrow? So as you know, I have a daughter and son at home, and sometimes they can get into arguments. That never happens with you, right? And so this book, The Pain and the Great One by Judy Blume, is about a brother and a sister and how they love and hate each other at the same time, and how they make it all work out being in home together. Then we have one that was my book when I was a little girl. It was the first book that I was able to read all by myself. And so I've kept it. I keep all my books. And this is called There's Something in My Attic by Mercer Mayer. And so if you want to hear about monsters and have me read the first book I ever read to myself, vote for this one. And then this is a book that I used to read to my son Ben, and I think I've read it 1,000,001 times before he went to bed, and he loves it. It's called I Love You, Stinky Face. And just a nice story about kids and getting to bed. And so our books that you can vote on that I can read tomorrow are The Pain and the Great One, There's Something in My Attic, or I Love You, Stinky Face. So choose one of those, write it in the comments, and I will read one tomorrow. I hope you have a marvelous Monday.